Hello everybody. Guess what we got in the mail today?
In the mail? Does that fit in your mailbox?
Never mind my gym workout duds. I know these aren't my besties, okay? These are my workout clothes.
Those should go in the rag bag.
So don't judge, okay?
Tell them. Drop it in the comments. That shirt needs to go in the rag bag.
Hey, we don't fake stuff here. It's real stuff. Like it or leave it.
Get a real shirt.
So look what we got. Dropped off by FedEx today.
I bet the mail lady was happy about that.
Yeah, that someone else was carrying it. Portable air conditioner. So this is it's a portable air conditioner. I don't know if it's a one room or if it's a large one room air conditioner.
I don't know, but I know we need it because it's hot.
So we do have a whole house air conditioner, and it's a small house, but it's a cabin, so it's not completely airtight.
And it's an old system.
Yeah, it's an old system, so really it's a backup system. If the air conditioner went out and we had to have it serviced, we might be without air. At least we'd have something, at least one cool room to go to. But anyway, I've opened this up just so we could kind of get a quick glimpse of it. It's a ZAFRO, if I'm saying that right, ZAFRO. It's got the instructions here. Looks pretty clean cut. And what I noticed right away is this is a dual hose unit. This is a dual line unit. And you're saying, okay, so what? Well, it matters because a single line unit pulls the air inside your house through the front face. And then what it does is it's creating a negative vacuum in your house. So it's pulling air and cooling it and then exhausting air. But what it's doing is pulling air from inside your house that it didn't pull from outside. So it's pulling inside air, cooling it, and then exhausting outside. So it's creating a negative pressure. On the flip side, the better and more efficient way to cool is a dual line system. You pull the air from outside, you cool it, and you put that outside air back outside. So then you're adding air to the room. You're not cooling already cooled air, since we're using this as a supplemental system. Does that make sense? That's the best way I know to explain it. Just know that a two-line system is better than a one-line system. So as soon as I remove these, I'm like, oh wow, I'm great. I'm glad it's a two-line system. So I was happy about that. So just want to kind of go through some of this. I'm going to read the book and familiarize myself with it. It looks like it has all the parts in here. They got some lines packed in here. Looks like it's packed pretty well too. I'll set these to the side.
It's always good when they pack it well.
Yeah, you don't like to receive damaged stuff.
Because if you think the post office is the only one who throws stuff around, you're sadly mistaken.
That's not the case.
They all do.
Oh, it looks like we got some foam or butyl tape here. I think it's foam. So that's nice. So this will be easy to put in any window. It probably has a slider type thing and the window comes down on it. That's how most of them work. We did bring one from Florida, but we hooked it up in here and it doesn't work.
It must have got damaged during the move.
It cuts on, but it doesn't cool. The compressor doesn't work, so. I don't know if I can get this out easily. It's got tape on it. It's hard to get out.
Guess we'll never know. You better get back to the gym.
No kidding.
That AC unit's whooping your tail.
It had some tape on it, in my defense.
Oh.
So if you look down in here.
That is not the blue tape that stops.
It's blue tape, man. It's blue
stops
tape.
things, so I don't know what you're crying about.
So it looks like a nice unit. And so what we'll do is get this unpacked and get it set up.
And then you can chill out.
And then we can chillax.
Chillax. Sounds like a plan.
All right, so we got the ZAFRO air conditioning unit. It's a mobile in-home unit, and setup is really easy. We're going to go through everything. I can tell you right off the rip though, I really like it. And I'm going to tell you some of the features that I like about it, being an efficient-minded person. I don't like to waste resources, as you know. So we're going to go over everything. It's a really easy setup. They even give you this little setup card. Kind of gives you the 1, 2, 3 of everything. And really the hardest part is the back, where you're setting it up through your window. This is designed to set up through a window. Now, if you have different configurations where you already have a hole in your wall, a dryer vent type scenario, then that's easy for you. This is a dual hose system. It does have it's considered a dual lullaby portable AC unit. And what that means basically is that it's quiet. And so that's one of the best features on this thing, is that it's not a big loud window unit. And a window unit is very restrictive on how much airflow you can get with it. This thing has some massive tubings, and it's dual ducting. So what that means is that it doesn't create that negative air pressure. Like if you have a single hose air conditioning unit, then what it's doing is it's pulling the air from inside the house, cooling it, and then exhausting the heat out the window, but it's creating a negative pressure, which means it's pulling air from somewhere. So if you're exhausting air through a window, you got to be pulling air from somewhere else. So it's either pulling it through the ducts in the house, or it's pulling it through holes and crevices around your doors and windows, and it's not as efficient. So what this is a dual hose system. You have an intake and you have an exhaust side. And I think that's great, because I had some concerns about that. And then when I went to go, I was reading about it, and then the unit was still next door over in the side room, and I went over there and opened it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's a dual hose. That changes everything, because I didn't even know if I really wanted to employ this unit. But the dual hose is a game changer. It's just a more efficient exchange of air, and you can read about that online. I did. I mean, I have to learn these things too. So you have a lot of different things that they give you here with the unit. These are pretty small windows. So the biggest setup part of this was fitting this to the window. Now I went with the horizontal, but you can go vertical too. If your window is a slider, it'll work with the sliders as well. You just use more panels. So these two extra panels are really long. They fit inside of each other and they slide, so it's doubled. And then it has the holes here for some pins that come with the hardware with little butterfly nuts. So once you find your distancing, then you can lock it down and that stabilizes it. These are able to be cut down too. If you need these to be cut down, then you can do that. So these are extra for me in my application. So you can see what I did there. I went with the smaller panel, and it looks like I just had to extend them about that far, but they mostly overlap. They do have some different types of insulation for around this. They've got the softer type without the tape. I've just combined them. They come in different packaging. And this is the sticky back. And what I did with this is I took this and I cut it lengthwise, because it doesn't really need to be that thick, because my windows are not that thick. So I cut it down the middle and then I applied it, and then I have a lot left over. But that's fine, because I may decide to change my application. I may move it to the side room, and so I want to have some material left over. So I'll set that aside. Also, what this thing does, and I love this feature, this is a condensate line. So a lot of air conditioning units, portables, have this tank. So it'll shut off and it'll give you a warning that you have to dump your water tank. This one doesn't have a water tank. This one actually regenerates the refrigerant and evaporates it off. Now, if you're in a real humid climate, like above 80, 90%, that's not going to work as efficient. They say it can last about 72 hours consistently, and you'll have to either put in a condensate line, which there's a plug on the back and this hooks right to it. Looks like this is pretty long. I haven't even opened this up. But it needs to flow downhill. So I would either have to lift this up onto a platform to get it to flow into a pan, or, I mean, a couple options. I could drill a hole through the floor, which I really don't want to do that. Or you can just roll it over to the door, undo the plug, empty it, plug it back in, and then roll it back around. So it is on casters. It will go pretty much anywhere you want it to go. I'm just going to move it around to show you that it moves in all directions.
360 degrees.
Yep, it's got 4 casters on there. It's got a simple, easy to clean filter. It's on the back. All you do is you lift it up and it comes off, and it's a screen, so you can take it right to your kitchen sink or your shower tub, whatever. Put some pressure on there, some warm water, maybe a little soap if you want to, and just keep it clean. Dry it off, shake it, put it back on. You're ready to go like that. This thing has just so many features, I don't even know where to start. I think the number one best thing about this air conditioning unit is that it's an inverter. What does that mean? An inverter is almost like a built-in self-start. When your home air conditioning unit comes on, because we do have a home air, this is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, small 1,000 square foot cabin. Will this cool the whole house? It will if it doesn't get above 90, 95 degrees. But it has a hard time reaching the exterior rooms, which we didn't get it for that. We got this to help back up the main air conditioning unit because it's really old. It's 20 plus years old. So we're wanting that to cycle less. So a home air conditioning unit has a hard start. In other words, that compressor kicks on, that fan kicks on, that heater, the whole unit kicks on. You can hear it kick on. It kicks on, it cools down the house, and then it kicks off. And it continues to cycle in that fashion. Well, when it kicks on, the initial startup, it spikes the electric usage, and then it starts to level out around 8 to 9 amps for this unit. This will run under 6 amps the entire time. Not only that, it doesn't have a hard startup. It's a soft start. So the inverter displaces the power, and it kind of, what it does is it allows the compressor to run up slowly. And then once it's running, it continues to run. It doesn't really shut off. Well, it does shut off, but it trickles off. It keeps a more temperate climate in your room, and it doesn't, you don't have those spikes of hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold that you do with the big unit when it comes on. Because it has to, we have it set at 76. So when it drops to 75, it kicks on. It'll run up to when it gets hot, when it goes the other way. When it gets to 78 or 77, it'll kick on, drop it back down to 76, 75, and then kick off. So it continues to do that 1 to 2 degree, variance. This will get your room to your set temperature, let's say 76 again in this case, and it will maintain 76. And it does that by using the inverter technology, by slowly ramping up and slowly ramping down the power curve, never going above 6 to 7 amps. So it keeps 80% of this cabin at the constant temperature, and it keeps that big unit from coming on so much. Now, we don't run this at night. We could, but we don't, because we want the bedrooms to cool off. We run it during the day. Right now we don't have it on yet, but I'm getting ready to turn it on. I wanted to show you guys how it turns on, how it turns off. There is a remote control. I don't have it set up. And there's also the app that I mentioned. There are settings for the humidity. From 30 to 70 degrees, you can set the humidity. So if you like it drier, you can run it drier. If you like it more comfortable around 60, 70%, you can set that. So we're going to go ahead and turn this on.
With that app, a good feature is that you could get your house cooling while you're on your way home from work or from running your errands, and get that all nice and cozy for when you get here. And that inverter, I was reading, should be really energy efficient. I know it has a really low SEER rating.
Yes.
And
the SEER rating is around 12.8. And you can read about what that means. There's a lot to that too.
I'm hoping that means a lower electric bill. So I'm excited to see how this helps. I know it's a lot cooler in here versus last year. So I've been loving that because this heat, it's like I left Florida for a reason and I do not want to be in the heat.
So you probably cannot even hear it because I can barely hear
It's super quiet.
it. It opens up first because it does close itself down and shuts off the airflow between the inside and outside. So it turns on, then it turns on the fan, and you can hear it come on real slow. And the compressor takes about 30 seconds to come on. I can already feel, you can't even hear it. You can already feel it starting to cool. We have it set at 76.
I can feel it from where I'm standing.
Yeah. And there's 3 speeds. I'll go ahead and turn the fan speed up to high. That's high.
That nice little
Now,
noise
you
that
hear
it
it?
does make.
You probably can't hear it, but it's just starting. Everything's a little delayed because it doesn't just go click, it's on. It's okay, you want me to turn on? Okay, here I go. I'm turning it on, and it goes slow.
It sounds like a nice little fan that actually puts you to sleep.
Yes. And there is a sleep mode that makes all these lights turn off. So if that affects your sleeping,
Yes,
digital
yes,
lights,
it
which
does.
It does you.
I love that feature.
It blacks out everything, and it runs at no louder than 38 decibels in sleep mode. Now we typically keep it on low speed because that's good enough. So it has a low, medium, high, and then has an auto. There's also a timer on here. I don't even know all the features, to be honest. There's a manual mode that you can set. The air intake, it pulls the air from the outside and exhausts to the outside. Let's take a walk outside so you can see what that looks like.
And doesn't this have the ability to cool off a room really fast compared
Yes.
to
Yes.
a normal unit?
Yeah, you can set it on like a turbo speed and then
That is a super big bonus, especially in the summer weather.
so if you come out here, we have it venting out onto the back porch because the air out here is cooler, for one, because it's covered and shielded from the sun. So it's very aesthetic. In other words, we wouldn't want to put a window unit here because it's going to look ugly and it's going to be loud. And on the front of the house, you definitely don't want to put a window unit in a nice subdivision and have an ugly air conditioner sticking out your window.
Plus, it would be dripping all over the porch.
Yes, and you have to tilt them a certain way, and there's a lot to putting in a window unit correctly, and they draw more power. This is aesthetically clean. It's sleek. It all fits behind the screen, so the screen is acting as a bug shield or mosquitoes, so you're not sucking bugs into the unit. And then the unit has a large grate over it. Here, this is the exhaust side and this is the cooling side. Now what I would do is I would like these to be more separated so you're not drawing in any exhaust air. But I was thinking about cutting some cardboard, putting it behind the screen and just giving it a little barrier so it was a little harder to suck in the exhaust. That's just my, it won't hurt anything to suck in a little bit of the exhaust, but that's hot air coming out and you're having to cool it, so that makes it less efficient. So you want this to be pulling in the coolest air possible in order to get it cooled down faster. So I just wanted to show you the aesthetics of what it looks like outside the house. When we come back in here,
Let's go back into the cool air. It's not very hot out today, but it's awful humid. So coming in here is very nice.
so like I said, it's very quiet. It's a full DC inverter. This is a 16,000 BTU unit. So there are 3 sizes that these come with. They sent us the largest size, so I was very appreciative of that. It recycles the condensate. I think that's really neat how that works. I was trying to read up a little bit about it, but it takes the water and puts it over the cooling fins in some fashion that it evaporates it off. I think that's pretty neat. Now, I don't know all the dynamics of how that works, so you can go and look that up. And I mentioned the dehumidifying mode. From 30 to 70%, you can set that. And that's all through the manual button. So you can see the features over here if you come closer. It's not a real complicated thing. like, I don't even know what this is. I haven't played with this one. This is some kind of timer. I haven't played with that either. Then here's your fan speed, and I have played with that. It just cycles through. And the speed takes place slowly. I don't know if you heard that, how slow that kicked on. But I usually just keep it in the lowest mode. It keeps this house cool. You can set your temperatures here, plus or minus, up or down. You can tell it's cooling. It's got the little snowflake symbol there. Manual mode allows several things to happen. It's in the book there. I didn't go all through it, but you can do several things going into manual mode, and then your on-off button. And then I'm going to show you what it does when it shuts off. Are you ready? You barely have to touch these.
Do you need a drum roll?
They're not even buttons. You just barely touch them. You can hear it. Now look here. It counts down from 20 down to 0 before it actually shuts off. So what it does is if the compressor's running, it'll shut down, and now it's blowing out the extra cool air. So this is free cool air while you're shutting down. And as it shuts down, it turns off, and give it a couple seconds, and then these vents will start to close too, shutting the system down. I think that's a really neat feature that it shuts down your unit like that and closes it off. A window air conditioning unit doesn't do that. The venting is left open.
Well, even the last stand-up unit that we did have, that we brought from Florida, because we used to use that when we were working out in that big shed, and it stopped working after we got here, so it must have got damaged in the move. But that one didn't do the job that this does.
No,
and
it was a bigger, clunkier unit, and it only had one hose.
Yeah, and it was loud, much louder than this one, and it just didn't perform as well. So this was super sweet.
Yeah, I'm real happy with the performance and the quietness of this thing, and that's really its marquee thing. If you want a quiet air conditioning unit that'll cool, up to 700 or 800 square feet, this is doing a great job, and we really haven't overworked it. We've kept it on low. It caught up within an hour, and now it just maintains the coolness of the cabin throughout the heat of the day, and it assists the bigger unit when it does come on. Now, the bigger unit will come on, but it comes on rarely, like half as much. So it's saving power in that. And the real reason I like having this unit too is if that big unit ever goes down, it gets real hot in here real quick because the roof is open wood. It's not an insulated type roof. It has insulation, but it's not bat insulation. It's not really good insulated. So the heat does come through the roof a little bit when it gets extraordinarily hot. And if that outside unit gets overworked, and it is old, so we're kind of trying to be delicate with it. If it gets overworked and goes out, now you're without an air conditioner, and this will maintain. This will maintain, and this can be moved easily into a bedroom. If you need the bedroom to be a little cooler at night, hey, this is easy to do. You unhook the hoses, you can set up another exhaust system in the other window, and you can move it right to the bedroom.
Don't threaten me with a good night's sleep, buddy. Because I'm telling you, before this unit got here, it was cranky and uncomfortable in here.
Yeah.
Sticky.
It really helped to equalize the air conditioning in here. The air is better conditioned. You don't have the hot and cold pockets that you do with a bigger unit. So it just makes it really comfortable in here, especially in the main living area, which is where you spend 90% of your time. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
So,
I love it.
I think
Absolutely
it's a great
love
addition
it.
to our cabin life, and we're enjoying it. And for those of you that don't know, we're in South Central Tennessee. It does get humid here. It rains quite often. Not as much as Florida, but
Yeah, it is not as bad as Florida, but it is pretty similar in a lot of respects. So,
and I have not had to empty the condensate. And we've been running this for 3 or 4 days now, and I wanted to kind of run it and get used to it and see how it works before I did a review on it. We have not had to hook up the condensate line, and we have not had to empty this at all yet.
I think in Florida you would have had to do that, but it's okay. It's there to use it. So if you have to use it, use it.
And we are running at 82% humidity right now outside. Inside it's 54%.
Oh, super nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
I love it. It's making life a lot more comfortable.
I really like how quiet it is. Like you don't even know it's on.
I know. That is one of the, well, I guess that's the second best part because the coolness is number one for me.
Yeah. If there are any drawbacks, if someone was to ask me something that you don't like about it, I really don't know. I mean, I guess you could say maybe because it sits out in the middle of the floor and it looks kind of bulky with the lines, but you can cosmetically fit that into your household as you deem fit. I am more of a function over looks guy. This is highly functional. I love it. I can put it anywhere I want it. I can put it out in the side room. I can put it upstairs. I can put it in the bedroom, and I can put it in here within seconds.
I like that it has those nice wheels so you can easily roll it around.
Move it around. I could roll it all the way out to here if I wanted to.
I can roll it right into my bedroom.
Yeah, you could. So yeah, we'll drop a link in the description there, and if this is something you think you could utilize, I don't think you'd be disappointed. It has performed very well for us, and I'm pretty surprised by the inverter technology and how quiet it is. I love it.
All right, and check out the ZAFRO and chill out.